The goaltenders tonight, the two veterans who are having excellent seasons. Kurt McLean for the Vancouver Canucks. He's got 37 wins. That ties him for first in the NHL in wins. And Kelly Rudy, he's going for a career-high 27th win of the season here tonight. Kelly getting all set. He has started 34 of the last 37 games. And he was brilliant, as we've mentioned, on Sunday night in Vancouver. The referee tonight is Andy Van Helleman, and the linesmen Ryan Bozak and Mike Civic. The 80th and final game of the regular season for the Kings. The Canucks have one more game left. That's Thursday against Calgary in Vancouver. Tonight's opening faceoff brought to you by AIS. For low-cost insurance, call the Auto Insurance Specialist. And the play is underway. Robert Dirk with it for the Vancouver Canucks and sends it across the King blue line. Back to get it is Tim Waters. He drives it to the blue line, and it came off across the line. And when it was touched by Momesso, offside called against Vancouver. Tom Webster looking for win number 116 as the head coach of the Kings. He has lost 93 and tied 31 in his Kings career. The Kings with a win or a tie here tonight. They don't have to worry about what Edmonton does. They will finish in second place in the Smythe division. If the Kings do not get a win or a tie, then they have to hope that Edmonton either loses or ties their game against Winnipeg. And at last report in the second period in that game, there was no score. Puck comes up to center ice and all the way down to the Vancouver zone. Here's Robert Dirk chasing it in. Tony Granato pushes him into the boards. The puck is taken by Doug Lidster. Lidster falls down, went hard into the boards. Now Dirk is double teamed. Lidster gets up for Vancouver. His pass up on the right side of the Canucks come to center ice. Here's Cliff Ronning. Ronning across the line. Poked away from him, but he got it back again. Ronning on the right side. Checked by Ahola. The puck comes down the corner and a hard check throw on there. As Granato throws another check, and the Kings try to chip it out to center ice, and they will. And Sandstrom gets knocked down. He ran head on into Jim Sandlak. So these two teams come out and pick it up right where they left off in Vancouver on Sunday night. Here's Sandlak on the right wing. He gives it to Momesso. His shot blocked by Rob Blake. Momesso with it again. Blake checks him. Puck is around the boards on the right side and taken by the Kings up to center ice with a 3-on-2. Curry gives it to Gretzky. Gretzky right side to Curry. Shoots and a save by McLean. Curry leaned into that one and McLean made a diving save. Here's Pavel Bure. Watch him. He's got great moves. He shoots wide to the right side. He had the only Vancouver goal on Sunday night. The puck is caught in the back of the King net with 18:35 to go here in the first period. And no score in the game, but Jari Curry got a lot of wood on that shot.
Speed picked up here in the first period. A lot of hitting by the big line of the Vancouver Canucks. Then the Kings get breakout on a 3-on-2. Jari Curry takes a long shot there on the 3-on-2, but I like his decisiveness. Jari Curry has to take the puck more and shoot it more. They have to expect more goals from him. He does an excellent job defensively, but everyone knows with Marty McSorley now playing up front with him, they have to count on Jari Curry to put some goals in off passes from Wayne Gretzky.
You can see on that graphic he needs only 3 goals for 500 in his career, but he has only 4 goals in the last 28 games. Here's Paul Coffey back after a mild concussion against Vancouver on Sunday night. Coffey has played in only 9 of the 20 games that the Kings have played since they got him from Pittsburgh. He's had various ailments. Back and a wrist. He says everything else is all right, and he's ready to go. We're going to talk with Paul Coffey. He's got the puck right now. We'll visit with him at the end of the second period tonight. Here's a pass to Gretzky across the line. He shoots just wide to the left side. Gretzky goes for the rebound. Gretzky with it, trying to center it, intercepted by the Canucks. No score first period. Here on the right side is Igor Larionov. The puck is poked away from him and cleared by Charlie Huddy. Pavel Bure back to get it. He's from the Soviet Union, number 10. He's got a good shot at being Rookie of the Year. This is only the 63rd game that he's played. On the right side, a pass ahead to Plavsic. He cuts in front. Can't get a good shot off. It was taken away. Held in now by Larionov. Larionov on the right side. We got a penalty coming up against the Kings. Penalty against the Kings, and Adams and McSorley get spun around. Marty McSorley is going to get the penalty. It was a delayed call against the Kings. We've got 17:38 to go in the first period, and there's no score between the Kings and the Canucks. We'll be back in a moment.
Marty McSorley takes the first 2 penalties of the game. The first one for high sticking, then he followed up with a roughing penalty. We'll watch McSorley come up the ice with Merzen. It's Dana Merzen of the Canucks. They're well behind the action. There's a little swing by McSorley. Again, you don't have to make contact in those situations. So perhaps that was the high sticking call. Then he followed up with roughing. Power play for Vancouver, 11th in the NHL, just over 19%. LA Kings penalty killing, good all year, 6th in the NHL, 82.2%.
Vancouver has been terrible with a man advantage against the Kings this year. In 6 previous games, they have 1 power play goal in 30 chances. So they've got a great chance here to break out into the lead. They've got a power play for 4 minutes. Linden's pass across the line into the King zone. Courtnall checked by Larry Robinson. Puck comes down to the left of the King net. Taken there by Fergus. He's wrapped up by Waters. The Canucks hold it in at the blue line. Now it comes over to Lidster. Lidster's pass tipped away from Courtnall, but he stays right with it. Now the Kings take it away, and Kadelski will clear it off the boards into the Vancouver zone. The Canucks are led on the power play by Greg Adams with 13 and Jeff Courtnall with 12. Courtnall is out on the ice right now. Canucks with 3:14 to go with a man advantage. No score first period. Fergus is checked by Blake, and the puck cleared by Donnelly on target, and a stop made by McLean.
2 nights ago, the Kings used penalty killing to get momentum, get themselves into the game, although most of those penalty kills came late in the game. Early here in the first period, they're going to have to kill off this 4-minute minor to Marty McSorley.
And it's cleared by Charlie Huddy back into the Vancouver zone. The Canucks are unable to get across the King blue line now and get it set up. 2:45 to go in this power play. Here's Cliff Ronning. Ronning for Vancouver. Gives it over to Sandlak, and the Canucks are offside on the play. There's the president, general manager, and head coach of the Canucks, Pat Quinn. 5th year as president and general manager. His first full year as head coach. An updated score now on the Winnipeg game is 2-0 in favor of Winnipeg over Edmonton. Now the Kings clear it again back into the Vancouver zone with 2.5 minutes left to go on this 4-minute power play for Vancouver. The Canucks have won 41 games this year. That's a club record. Here's Momesso. His pass over to Jim Sandlak. He's checked by Rob Blake. Now behind the net, Ronning. Ronning sends it back to Momesso. Now Robitaille over to check in. Momesso with it. Gives it to Sandlak. Sandlak to Ronning. Ronning back over to Sandlak. Tipped away. Sandlak with it. Gives it to Momesso. Shoots. Score! Sergio Momesso with a power play goal. And Vancouver leads 1-0.
Little cat and mouse game going on behind the Kings net. The Vancouver Canucks taking their time to set it up. And it turned into a bad angle shot by Momesso, but he got a lot into it. Canucks setting up much like Wayne Gretzky does, taking control of the puck behind the net. They had it there for 10 or 15 seconds. Finally, it's Sandlak. Look at Momesso. He's there at the face-off circle, so it's a bad angle shot. But he catches the Kings by surprise on the power play. A hard shot. Kelly Rudy really can't pick it up. Robitaille goes out to block it. Rob Blake also there. That came with 6 seconds remaining in the first penalty to Marty McSorley. That goal by Momesso brought to you by Old Spice. So the Kings will still have to kill another 2 minutes of the minor penalties to Marty McSorley.
Fans reacting to that Jet score that we gave you, 2-0 Winnipeg over the Oilers in the second period. You're right, Jim. If the Kings had just held on for 7 seconds, they'd have been back at full strength. But now Vancouver still has a one-man advantage. Momesso with his 20th of the year from Jim Sandlak and Cliff Ronning at 4:16.
I mentioned the way the Kings reacted to the penalty kill last game. Last season they did that all the time. They built on penalty killing situations. This season they haven't done that. It was a bright spot the other night.
The Canucks have scored on their first shot in front. Adams with a shot and a save. Adams with a rebound. Can't get a good shot, and a hand pass called here against Greg Adams. Adams was point blank there in front of Kelly Rudy. 1:22 remaining in Marty McSorley's second penalty. The Canucks have already scored on the power play, and they lead 1-0. Here's Dave Babbage back in the Vancouver zone. The Canucks still had a chance at the start of tonight to get first overall in the Campbell Conference. Here's Adams with a shot wide to the right side. They're trying to catch Detroit, but Detroit is winning tonight. Here at the blue line, a pass in deep, knocked away by Coffey, and then flipped high in the air and out to center ice. Greg Adams back to get it. 15 51 seconds left to go in the power play for the Canucks. Here's Adams, left wing side, King's zone, cutting in. He is checked there by Paul Coffey and Huddy. Adams still with it. Puts it on the left side, gets it back. He's got Bure in front, saved by Kelly Rudy. Pavel Bure put it behind the net. It's taken away for the Kings and not cleared. Lidster at the right point. He drives it off the corner, back behind the net to Greg Adams. Adams moves it over on the right side, and the Canucks get it back to Adams with Bure right in the slot. Adams with it with 24 seconds to go on the power play from the blue line. A shot knocked down by Rudy. Rebound, flipped up in the air, and Rudy knocked it down. Igor Larionov tried to bank it perhaps off Kelly Rudy from a weird angle, or at least get a pass over to teammate Pavel Bure, and Rudy knocked it down.
Larionov upset with himself right now. I think he changed his mind. He gets the rebound right here, runs out of room. Paul Coffey slides in behind. That prevents the empty net goal. And Bure is off to the right side of the net. Larionov trying to thread the puck through here and perhaps bank it off of the defenseman. You can see Bure just off to the left there. He has a wide open net until the Kings forwards can come back and collapse on the penalty kill.
Face off to the right of Kelly Rudy. Still on the power play, the Vancouver Canucks with a 1-0 lead. Puck is sent into the left wing circle, not cleared by the Kings. Shot by Dirk, tipped wide. Rebound, slapped around the boards at left point. Dirk holds it in again. Kings are 5 seconds away from being back at full strength. A shot wide to the left side by Courtnall, and the Kings have killed this penalty. They're back at full strength. Canucks with it. Pass to the blue line to Lidster. Gets by him and out to center ice. Lidster back to get it. He gives it now to Trevor Linden. Now Ferguson center ice. Comes off the stick of Courtnall down the right side of the Kings zone. Courtnall checked along the boards. Marty McSorley over to get it. Linden takes a run at him. Puck held in by Robert Dirk for Vancouver. He gives it to Trevor Linden. Linden left side in the slot. Linden still with it. Right side. He shoots, saved by Rudy, and he covers up. Linden did a good job there to get that shot off. He didn't get a lot of wood on it, and Rudy made the stop.
Canucks lead the Kings 1-0. 13-16 remaining in the first period. Here's Linden's last chance. Rob Blake all over him. What I like defensively on that play by the Kings, it was man on man all the way. You rely on Rob Blake to take Linden. Linden still got a shot, but it was a weak shot. Everyone else took their man. Kelly Rudy saw the puck and covered up on the rebound.
Face-off in the Kings zone to the left of Kelly Rudy, and the draw won by John McIntyre to Larry Robinson, playing in his final regular season game after 20 years in the NHL. Robinson's pass to Waters. Waters clears it out to center ice. Here's Jay Miller. Miller to Taylor. Taylor on the right side. Taylor still with it. Vancouver zone leaves it for McIntyre. McIntyre in front of Robinson. He just shot it wide to the left. Larry Robinson in deep. Would have been nice to cap a career with a nice goal here to tie it up, but his shot went wide. Puck comes over the right side of Jay Miller again. Miller, top of the slot. His pass taken away. Canucks with it. 1-0. Vancouver leads with 12:39 to go in the first period. Here's Robert Cron back after a long absence due to an injury. Cron with it. Now on the right side it goes to Nedved with a shot and a save made by Kelly Rudy, and he covers up. So a face-off in the Kings zone once again. The Kings have been outshot 8-1. And Larry Robinson, look at the games played, sure to be into the Hall of Fame, third highest scoring defenseman in NHL history, ending his regular season career here tonight. And Jim, we're going to, as I mentioned before, have a little tribute to Larry at the end of the first period.
Well deserving. Larry Robinson, not only on the ice, off the ice throughout his whole career, just handled himself so well. Everyone looks up to a player like Larry Robinson, and everyone knows in Los Angeles his favorite time of the season is the playoffs. He gears up for that. And last year people felt, well, maybe not a great regular season. Come playoff time, he's ready to go.
Off the draw, shot by Sandlak, and a save. Momesso with a shot wide to the left. Sandlak got good wood on a shot right after the faceoff, and Kelly Rudy was ready for it, made the big save. This is reminiscent of Sunday night in Vancouver, where the Kings scored in their first shot of the night. However, they had been outshot badly. Now they're outshot 9-1 here, and it was Vancouver tonight who scored in their first shot of the night. Canucks with it back in their own zone, leading 1-0. Pass comes out to center ice. Paul Coffey with it at the King blue line over to Charlie Huddy. Kings are going to meet the Edmonton Oilers in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs beginning this Saturday. And the only thing undetermined right now is, will the game be here in Los Angeles or in Edmonton? Going to get an icing call here against the Vancouver Canucks as Paul Coffey goes back to touch it. We'll be right back with Vancouver ahead 1-0. Fan appreciation night here at the Great Western Forum. A lot of gifts being given out to fans during the play. At the right point, held in by Huddy with a shot and a save by McLean. Up comes behind the net. Here's Marty McSorley. Penalty against Vancouver. McSorley. It's a delayed call against the Canucks. McSorley holds it in. The Kings get the extra tack around. It's Robitaille. Here's Gretzky, but the Canucks take it away, and the whistle blows. Holding the call against the Vancouver Canucks, Doug Lidster, and the Kings will go on the power play with a chance to tie the game. Well, it looked like for a while that might not happen, but yes, the strike is over. Everybody's back and happy about it, except this guy, Doug Lidster, who's getting a 2-minute rest right now.
Wayne Gretzky setting up behind the Vancouver goal in his office, and there Doug Lidster grabs a hold of him, holds on a little bit too long, then forces Gretzky to the ice. Van Helleman in the corner calls a penalty. Kings on the power play looking for the equalizer. They're 8th in the NHL, 19.6%. Vancouver's penalty killing not that good, only 14th in the NHL.
The Kings are led by Luc Robitaille. He's got 26 power play goals, second best in the league. Here at the blue line, Coffey with a shot deflected back out to center ice. Dave Andrechuk of Buffalo started the night with 28 power play goals. Canucks take it away. Pass on the left wing side. Shot by Agnew is wide and off the boards. They were looking for a short-handed goal. Kings had a short-handed goal against Vancouver on Sunday night up in Vancouver. Short-handed this year, the Vancouver Canucks have scored 12 times. Puck comes to center ice. Pass taken away and tipped by Trevor Linden back into the Kings zone. Here is Jari Kurri up to the red line to Gretzky. Gretzky feeds it on the left side, and here's Corey Millen across the line. Millen, his pass taken away by Linden. He put it right on Linden's stick, and he cleared it. Kings have 1:15 to go in this power play.
Bob, you almost know this was going to happen. Give the teams a couple of days to practice on the power play, and they'll screw things up. The other night, they moved around well. Tonight, the Kings can't get over the blue line.
Now it comes to Gretzky, the right point. He can't hang on. Back come the Canucks to center ice. Left side, Bourret shoots, and a save off the arm of Kelly Rudy. Pavel Bourret with a hard shot hit the left arm of Rudy. The Kings force it out to center ice, and the Canucks take it away again. And the Kings look awful with this man advantage. They've got 43 seconds to get it together and try and tie the score. It's 1-0 Vancouver. Bad pass taken away. Bourret in the slot. He's hit from behind, and his shot goes wide to the left. Taken now by Sandstrom. Sandstrom's pass up the center ice. It bounces in front of the penalty box, and the Canucks take it away again and clear it. The Kings have been outshot 10-2. They're trailing 1-0, and they have only 20 seconds to go in this power play. Here's Granato to center ice. Over to Sandstrom. Sandstrom tried to feed it back to Granato. The Canucks take it away, and it's cleared to center ice, and Charlie Huddy chases it down. No shots for the Kings on this power play, and they've got 5 seconds remaining. Canucks with it. Nedved at center ice to Kron. He's on a Czechoslovakia. Kron left side shoots, and a save by Rudy. The Kings get no shots on that power play. Vancouver's back at full strength. Peter Nedved. Right side, Babic cutting in, and he gets knocked down, and Rudy stops the puck and hangs on. 1-0 Vancouver. 9:12 to go in the first period here at the Great Western Forum. If Edmonton loses or ties that game, the Kings, regardless of what happens here tonight, will finish in second place, and the playoffs will begin here in Los Angeles on Saturday night. Kings clear it to center ice to Donnelly, but it's broken up by Robert Kron as he was back-checking to center ice. Here's a pass to Kron on the right wing. Kings zone, he shoots, saved by Rudy. Rudy's being peppered with shots. He's faced 12 already. He faced 40 Sunday night in Vancouver. Here is Corey Millen being checked by Lidster at center ice. Now Millen tried to get to it again, couldn't do it. Vancouver Canucks move it off on the right side to Kron. Would have been offside if Vancouver touched it. It comes back to center ice. Kings with it across the blue line. Millen, then he gets knocked back out to center ice by Dirk, and the Canucks clear it to the King line. The Kings have Robinson and Waters back defensively. Here's Kudelski in the right wing. Kudelski drops it to Donnelly. Donnelly, his shot, save made by McLean, and he hangs on for the faceoff. 8:25 to go in the first period. Kings still trailing by 1.
Corey Millen's line with an attack. Mike Donnelly stops it up. He's a left-hand shot off his wrong wing, so he has the puck still in front of him. Elects to shoot it, even though he doesn't have much momentum. You can see how easy Kirk McLean made that save look. There's Mike Donnelly on the bench, 29 goals on the season. Looking for that milestone 30-goal mark. There's a good shot, working well with Corey Millen and Bob Kudelski.
Face off to the right of McLean. And on the draw, battle for it in the circle, and it comes loose to Vancouver's Rs Van Lak. He clears it out to center ice. Van Lak with it. To the King line, across the line, he gives it to Momesso. Momesso around to Ronning. Ronning tips it behind the net. Now it's tipped away from him by Blake. Kings down 1-0. First period. Kings can't clear it. Van Lak banned on his pass. Here's McIntyre to center ice. McIntyre across the line. Right side to Blake. He shoots and it's deflected wide. Puck is picked up by the Canucks. Taken at the left point by Ahua. Tipped by Jay Miller and a save by McLean. Here's Dave Taylor. He's checked by Ronning. Taylor still with it, but is passed away by Momesso, and he clears it out to center ice. Kings have been outshot 12-4. They're trailing 1-0 here in the first period. Puck taken now right in front of the King bench by Charlie Huddy. Now it comes back to Babbage. Babbage lost it, and it rolls away on the right side from Jari Kurri. Now held into the right point by Huddy, but he gets rocked by Momesso on a check. Here's Kurri in the corner. Tipped away. Momesso with it. He gets it to Trevor Linden. Linden for Vancouver to the King line. He has a man on the right side. Fergus held up and stayed onside. Puck comes around on the right side. The Kings are going to take it away. Here's McSorley. Quick pass up to Kurri, but off his stick. Canucks with it. Here's Courtnall 2-on-1 with Linden. Courtnall shoots. Save Rudy. Courtnall again. Can't get a shot. Kurri with it there. The Kings turned it over just at the blue line. Now it comes to center ice to McSorley. 1-0 Canucks lead. McSorley looking for help. He gives it to Jari Kurri. Kurri on the left side. Can't get around Jeff Courtnall, who takes it away. Courtnall banks it to Fergus. 2-on-2 into the King zone. Fergus, his pass. Left side. Shot by Linden. Stopped and blocked by the Kings. And hanging on to it is Tim Waters. And we'll have a face-off.
Doesn't matter how much the game changes, you still need a defensive defenseman. We'll get a look at Tim Waters in action on the upper deck overhead cam. Waters, number 5, gets back into the play. It's a 3-on-2. He gives up his body right there. Trevor Linden, one of the hardest shooters in the league. That doesn't bother Tim Waters. He goes down to both knees, blocks the shot, makes it easy on Kelly Rudy.
Waters, 32 years old, 11th year in the league. And off the draw in the King zone, the puck is battled for and picked up by Bure. He stopped. Kings come back to center ice. Larry Robinson with it across the line. He is checked there, and Bure comes back to take it. Back in the Vancouver zone. 6:20 to go here in the first period, with the Kings down 1-0. Here is Adams into the King zone, and he is taken out of the play by Larry Robinson, and skating out to take it, but not clearing it is Kelly Rudy. Now on the right side, Granato up to center ice. Kings with it. Robitaille trying to give it to Sandstrom. Sandstrom across the line, pushes Robert Dirk into the corner. Goes Robitaille down on the puck, dug out by Sandstrom in front of Granato, but just tipped away. Granato puts it back behind the net again, taken away by the Canucks. Pass up on the right side by Lidster, comes all the way into the King zone, and Kelly Rudy skates out to the circle to break it up. Now touched by Sandstrom, but offside called, and Sandstrom and Adrian Plavsic are a little upset with one another. 5:43 left to go in the first period. Vancouver leads 1-0. You know, Jim, I think some people might have thought after the 10-day strike players would come back and kind of take it easy because a lot has been decided in the league already as far as playoffs are concerned. Certainly not the case between these two teams, or from what I've seen, other teams that have played since the strike.
The first thing that came to my mind was the cliche. Well, they're professionals. They'll know how to handle themselves. When they count, these games count for 2 points. They're going to play hard. See Sergio Momesso earlier with a hit right there. One good thing about the NHL, you have 80 games. The other night, Momesso was lost. He took a lot of dumb penalties, fell down a couple times tonight. Big goal to start it off, and he's throwing his weight around.
And he's got a lot to throw around. 215 pounds on a 6'3" frame. At the left point, here is a shot wide to the left side as the puck came back behind the net. Now the Canucks hold it in the King zone. Dana Merzen got that first shot. Puck over on the right side and taken away by the Kings. Corey Millen pulled down, no penalty. Pass up to center ice, broken up by Plavsic. Fans upset that the referee Andy Van Helleman let that hook go. Here is Robert Cron across the line, taken away by Donnelly. He cleared it back to center, and the Canucks with it. 5:10 to go in the first period. Kings take it away. Here is Millen over to Kadelsky. Shoots and a save by Kirk McLean. And the whistle blew, but tempers flare again as Mike Donnelly is upset. 5:04 to go here in the first period. McLean had made the save on Kudelski's shot. There's Gino Ojic upset. He and Donnelly pushing at one another. The only goal of the game so far by Sergio Momesso of Vancouver.
Second game back for both teams, but perhaps the passing skills deteriorate a little bit. Dana Merzen right there gives it to Bob Kudelski. That sets the Kings off on attack. But the Canucks always prepared, Bob. They forced that bad angle shot. Kirk McLean doesn't have to even move from his post. Just stands there, faces the shooter, and makes an easy stop.
The Vancouver Canucks have set a club record for wins on the road this year. They have won 18, lost 16, and tied 5. This is their best season in the club's history. They've been in first place in the Smythe division since the first day of the season, October 4th, I'm sorry. They were tied a couple of times. Here's Dave Taylor, his pass to the blue line broken up by Sandlak, and back comes Sergio Momesso. Momesso across the line, his shot deflected back out to center ice. The Canucks were tied for first in the Smythe division on October 4th and December 10th. But other than that, they're going to go wire to wire in first place. Here's Jay Miller, his pass right through the slot, taken on the left side by Tim Waters. Waters checked along the boards by Jim Sandlak. 1-0 Vancouver leads, and the Canucks clear at the center ice with 4:20 to go in the first period. Larry Robinson fanned on a clearing pass, then got it the second time. Here's Dave Babbage. Babbage for the Canucks. Over on the left side to Jim Agnew. Agnew gets checked hard as Larry Robinson stepped in front of him, and the linesman Ryan Bozak got knocked down also. Minster shoots from the right point. It's wide. Rebound over to Jeff Cordnall. Cordnall gives it to Cliff Ronning. Ronning can't hang on. Here's Larry Robinson with it. Robinson over now to McSorley, and up to center ice it goes. Kings with it. Across the line, Yari Curry to Wayne Gretzky. Offside Kings. Marty McSorley is having words with Trevor Linden. Well, you wouldn't know that this is the last game of the season, and Vancouver really hasn't wrapped up. Not much to play for them except the tune-up for the playoffs.
Talked about the division standings quite a bit. Let's take a look at the overall standings in the NHL. On top, the New York Rangers, 103 points. Some good teams up here, obviously. Washington, Detroit. There's Vancouver with 93 points. They have the biggest differential from last season. They're plus 28 points this season. Always on top, Montreal, New Jersey, Chicago. They round out the top 7 in the NHL. Remember, teams play an unbalanced schedule. You play more in your own division and conference than you do against the other divisions. But those the overall President's Trophy goes to the overall winner. A little bit of trophy, a little bit of cash also.
Washington, Detroit, Vancouver, they've been surprises this year. Washington have always had good seasons defensively. Now they've added some offense. They may have a good chance in the playoffs. Pass right in front, knocked away by Kelly Rudy and cleared to center ice. Here's Wayne Gretzky. He dropped it back to Curry. Curry's got McSorley. Left side, McSorley behind the net, still with it. Vancouver zone. He tried to give it to Gretzky. It rolled away from him. And back to center ice comes Cordnall. Cordnall jumps around McSorley. Cordnall with it. Left side shot wide by Tom Fergus. Now fired back behind the net again. Vancouver, good skating team here in this first period. They're creating some opportunities. They lead 1-0. Fergus to Cordnall with a shot wide. 2:58 to go in the first period. Jim Fox will talk with Larry Robinson at the end of this period. Pass up to center ice. Knocked down and driven by Dana Merzen back behind the King net.
That's a good point you brought up, Bob. Good skating team. Pat Quinn, when he comes to coach a team, he automatically keeps defense. He does not inhibit his players. He wants them to be creative.
Robitaille's pass broken up and cleared to center ice after Paul Coffey brought it down the right way. Paul Coffey back to get it. Gives it to Rob Blake. Blake still with it, clears it up to center ice. It bounces into the Vancouver zone with 2:26 to go in the first period. Here's Adrian Plansic back to get it off the Canadian national team, and a penalty coming up against the Kings. They're going to get elbowing against Granato. Granato's going to go for elbowing, and with a 1-0 lead, the Vancouver Canucks are going to be on the power play here in the first period. Elbowing against Tony Granato at 17:41. Let's take a look at it. There's Adrian Plavsic, number 6, and there's the elbow. There's no doubt about that. No argument on that call. If you wonder what elbowing is, you just saw it. Tony Granato in the penalty box. So the Canucks, who have their goal on a power play tonight, get another chance here late in the first period. 2:19 to go in the first period, and the faceoff is going to be out at center ice. Canucks 1 out of 2, 6 shots. The Kings no shots on their power play. Dave Babich with it back in his own zone. As I mentioned, the Canucks have 1 game left after tonight. That'll be Thursday in Vancouver against Calgary. Canucks into the King zone. On the left wing side, Adams checked there. Puck comes in front to Bure. Shoots and a save. Rebound score. Rudy made the save. He's claiming it got kicked in, but Pavel Bure was right in front with some moves, and Vancouver leads 2-0.
He put his legs together.
Took him only 21 seconds on this power play. Here's Pavel Bure. Save. And the rebound batted just past Rudy into the net. Take a look at it again. They're going to review this play now. There's the save. He never got it with his stick again. Now, it may have come off his skate, and if he directed it in, it's not going to count. Let's see if we can tell. Here's the first shot. Well, I really can't see on that what it bounces off of, but it did not hit Bure's stick the second time. Let's see if we can see it again from behind. The goal judge, or the video judge, is reviewing it. Now it bounces. He never gets his stick on it the second time. We're kind of blocked out by goaltender Kelly Rudy. Well, I still can't see who it bounces off of, so we'll see what the video judge review is. There's Pavel Bure, number 10. Great youngster in the NHL. The goal is going to count. It's his 33rd goal. He's already set a record for goals by a Vancouver rookie. He's 5th in rookie scoring with 58 points. Tied 3rd in rookie power play goals, now with 7. Lidster and Adams get the assist at 18:02. So Pavel Bure makes it 2-0 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks. Kings are back at full strength, but they have not played well in this period. They've been outshot 15-5 and outscored 2-0. Lidster and Adams with the assist at 18:02. Here's Robert Cron driving on Waters, and Waters put him behind the net, and Kelly Rudy covers the puck. Good play by Waters there to take Cron out of the play. Kings down 2-0. Watch Waters on this play. Cron cuts for the net, and Waters just forces him behind the net, and Kelly Rudy will stop the puck against the side of the net. Now off the draw in the King zone. It comes out to the left point to Jim Agnew of Vancouver. His pass over to Gino Ojic. Ojic on the right side. Out to the right point, held in by Dave Babich. Now going to be chased down by Peter Ahola with 1:13 to go here in the first period. Puck comes up to center ice. Agnew takes it away and drives it over the head of Ojic into the King zone. Now Jay Miller ahead to McIntyre. Vancouver zone, 3-on-3. Drop pass right side. Taylor shoots, deflected up into the crowd. Dave Taylor had a lot of room to get the shot off on the drop pass, but Adrian Plavsic got his stick over to knock it down. There's Dave Taylor of the Los Angeles Kings. 36 years old in his 15th season. 30 games over 1,000, all with the Los Angeles Kings. Only Jackie Slater of the Rams and Bill Russell of the Dodgers with more years in a Los Angeles uniform than Dave Taylor has with the Kings. Kirk McLean, lifetime against the Kings. He's even. He's won 12, lost 12, and tied 2. Off the draw. Puck comes out to center ice and chased down by Charlie Huddy. 52 seconds to go in the first period. 2-0 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks. Curry along the right wing boards. Now it comes over on the right side to Sandlak. He shoots, and a save by Rudy. Good hard shot by Sandlak. Rudy with a save. Puck comes out to center ice, slapped right back in by Dana Merzen. And touched by Vancouver, so it's an offside against the Canucks. 30 and 3/10 seconds left to go here in the first period. The Canucks come into this game tonight 4th overall in the NHL, and the Kings 9th overall. Tom Webster's Kings looking for their 36th win of the year. Here at home this year, the Kings have won 20. They've lost 10 and tied 9. but they have not played well in this first period tonight. They're down 2-0. They're outshot 16-5. They've been outskated in this first period. Charlie Huddy chasing it down. His pass off the boards and up the center ice. Taken there by McSorley, who's up and forward tonight with Gretzky and Curry. Here's Curry, shoots, and a save by McLean. Gretzky put Curry in. Here's Gretzky to the blue line to Huddy. 2 seconds ago, he shoots, and a save by McLean, and that's the end of the first period. The Kings with a couple of chances in the closing seconds of the first period for the Vancouver Canucks on goals by back at the Great Western Forum as we look at the Jack in the Box highlights. The Vancouver Canucks got the only 2 goals of the first period. The first one by Sergio Momesso.
The Canucks dominated the first period. Here's a hard shot by Momesso. You can see it's a screen shot. Gets by 2 Kings, then Kelly Rudy. Power play goal. Canucks lead 1-0.
Jim Sandlak and Cliff Ronning on the assist, and then Pavel Bure with his 33rd.
Always a dangerous man. You can see all the quick moves inside. A lot of talk about exactly how it did make its way over the goal line there. Looked like it went off the skate of Bure. It doesn't matter. So quick down low, and the Canucks lead 2-0.
Second period opening faceoff presented by AIS, the auto insurance specialists. And the Vancouver Canucks with it. Both teams are at full strength. Boy, the Canucks did a great job against the Kings' big guns in that first period. No shots on goal for Sandstrom, for Robitaille, Millen, or Gretzky. Canucks driving down in deep in the King zone. Here's Tim Waters back to get it. Waters checked into the corner on the left side by Fergus, and the puck dugger by Sandlak. And Sandlak centers it to Momesso. He's chased behind the net by Larry Robinson. Robinson stays right with Momesso. Momesso stays with the puck. Robinson still battles him for it. Now Ronning digs it out. He's punched and knocked down from behind by Robitaille, and there's a penalty to Robitaille. So the Canucks are going to have another power play here.
Leading goal scorer on the Kings, Luc Robitaille, wants to mix it up early in the second period. He goes off for charging. No doubt about this. You can see Robitaille from behind. He was back on his point guarding the defense, and he took 5 or 6 strides. He knew he was caught there. Had a little bit of smile for the referee. Lucky for Luc Robitaille and Cliff Ronning. Ronning didn't fall head first into the boards. Dangerous situation.
Face-off in the King zone now in Vancouver with a 2-0 lead, and they've got the man advantage. Here in the blue line, Plavsic gives it to Ronning. Ronning pass to Momesso in front of Sandlak, and just off his stick wide, and the Kings clear at the length of the ice. Jim, has any player ever thought that he did take a penalty? Has he ever gone over and said, yes, I deserve that 2 minutes?
Those are perhaps the only words I've never heard during a hockey game.
Puck is fired around the boards to Ronning, and Ronning's pass taken away by Huddy, and he slides into the blue line, and just off of Plavsic out to center ice. It was headed the length of the ice, but it hit Plavsic. Now the Canucks are back in their own zone. We're early here in the second period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox, and the Canucks outplaying the Kings and leading 2-0. Momesso, he's going to go tonight, gives it to Lidster. Lidster back to Momesso along the boards. Big Sergio with it. His pass taken away by Blake. And now Gretzky with it. Can't clear it out. Held in by Plavsic. Now knocked down and chipped to center ice by Huddy. Lidster gives it to Adrian Plavsic. Now on the right side it goes to Momesso to Ronning. Ronning to Momesso. King zone to Ronning. Up the middle to Plavsic. He shoots and a glove save by Kelly Rudy. 51 seconds left to go here in the power play for Vancouver. Well, this is awards night for the Los Angeles Kings. And let's take a look at some of the awards. The best newcomer voted by the LA media goes to Corey Millen. Most outstanding defenseman, Rob Blake, also voted by the media. And the defensive player goes to John McIntyre. Selected by the Kings fans, most popular, Luc Robitaille. And the unsung hero, selected by his teammates, Charlie Huddy. We'll have more of those awards for you later on in the telecast. Up the middle it goes to the blue line to Babbage. His shot knocked down. Canucks with it. Here's Plavsic. Left side. His shot blocked again and cleared to center ice by Mike Donnelly. 37 seconds left to go in the power play for Vancouver. Bure came across the line, but he got met by McSorley. Now the Kings drive it down the length of the ice. Got to get in front and get a little piece of Pavel Bure. You don't want him to get loose and put those moves on.
The Canucks set him up well all the time. They get everyone thinking the other way, get the flow going the other way, and then all of a sudden he shoots right at you, and you can't stop him.
Here's Igor Larionov out of the Soviet Union. Gives it over to Greg Adams. Back to Larionov. behind the net. Kings take it away. Kings are short-handed, but now lose the puck to Bure. Bure to Larionov. Larionov, right side. Kings are back at full strength. Pass in front to Bure, but he didn't get it. Kings have killed the penalty. They're still down 2-0. We're in the second period, and Tony Granato trying to get the puck. Can't clear it out. Babbage to the left point. He gets it around behind the net, off the stick of Larionov. McSorley gets it ahead to Millen. 3-on-2 Kings. Here's Millen with Granato and Robitaille. Pass over to Robitaille. Knocked down. Here's Robitaille left side. Robitaille, his pass knocked down, and now he gets it into Granato. Granato to Corey Millen. Millen can't hang on, and the Canucks are going to clear it as Adams clears it to center. That first pass was intended for Granato, and then it came over to Robitaille, but Luke couldn't get a shot. Now the puck tipped into the Vancouver zone. Sandstrom goes for it, broken up by Babbitt. Taken at center ice by Robitaille. His pass intercepted by Jeff Courtnall. Courtnall across the line to Fergus, taken away by the Kings. Here's Sandstrom with it. Sandstrom ahead and just out of the reach of Robitaille, the Vancouver blue line. Kirk McLean looking for his 38th win of the year in goal for Vancouver. Puck comes around to Jeff Courtnall. Taylor comes in, but Courtnall clears it out to center ice. 16:20 to go in the second period with the Kings down 2-0 in the final game of the regular season for the Los Angeles Kings. Puck comes over on the right side to McIntyre. He gets stopped by Robert Dirk. Dirk pushes it ahead. Now it's picked up by Trevor Linden. He's knocked down by Waters at the blue line. Well, Waters is playing a strong defensive game tonight. Here's Dave Taylor. Taylor across the Vancouver line. Tried to get in deep in the corner, but the whistle blows behind the play. Taylor and Courtnall upset with one another, and Jay Miller comes in. We've got a penalty coming up here. Courtnall looks like he's headed for the penalty box. He may be joined by one of the Kings.
Looks like Andy Van Helmond did point at Jay Miller.
One call is going to be slashing, and Andy Van Helmond will sort them out, and we'll be back with Vancouver ahead 2-0.
Miller, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalties.
Jay Miller in the penalty box for the Kings, and Jeff Courtnall is in the penalty box for Vancouver. Here's Courtnall and Taylor. Now here comes Jay Miller. Gets his glove underneath the chin, a little massage there. Doesn't want Jeff to have a double chin later on in life. Gets a couple of minutes for that. There's Jeff Courtnall over in the penalty box for Vancouver. So the teams remain at full strength. 15:54 to go here in the second period. Bob Miller with Jim Fox and the Kings trying to get their game back together. Certainly not playing as well as they did on Sunday night at Vancouver by any means. Kings driving back behind the Vancouver net. Here's Dana Merzen with it now. He gets it to Momesso. Momesso at center ice. Fires it back behind the King net. Off the stick of Rudy. Taken by Paul Coffey to McSorley. Cleared at the center, but Merzen breaks it up. Sends it back in. Canucks would have been offside if they had touched it. And the puck taken down by Marty McSorley. Now Jari Kurri. Kurri over to Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky, the assist leader in the NHL with 90 assists. Third in NHL scoring with 121 points. Puck comes off the boards, taken by Trevor Linden, ahead to center ice to Fergus. Here's Fergus with Momesso across the line, taken away nicely by the Kings. Paul Coffey to Gretzky, right side. Gretzky shoots and a save. Rebound, Kurri shoots and a save by McLean. McLean got over to make the save on Kurri, and now we've got another skirmish. Linden and Kurri are upset with one another, and then Marty McSorley is in there. Here's Linden and Kurri, and now we've got Paul Coffey on the back of one of the Canucks. Plavsic is there. Sergio Momesso is involved, and there's Paul Coffey on top of, I believe, Sergio Momesso. It was Momesso, if I remember right, that checked him into the boards in the first period the other night, Sunday night at Vancouver, and gave Paul Coffey a mild concussion. So Coffey getting a little revenge at Momesso here. 2-0 Vancouver. We'll be back in just a moment.
Not too much room in the Vancouver penalty box. Sergio Momesso right in the middle right now without his helmet. He's joined by Dana Merzen. Jeff Cortland, number 14, was already in there. Same thing in the Kings penalty box. McSorley, Miller, and Coffey. So I don't think there'll be a power play resulting from this situation. Take a look on the upper deck overhead cam, how it all started. Quick reversal by the Kings. Gretzky out. He's going to take the shot here. Long rebound to Jari Kurri. Kirk McLean settles, gets himself back in. Hard shot. Here's where it all starts. McSorley goes into the goaltender, McLean. Plavsic comes in. There's Momesso trying to get into it. And everything developed into a little bit of a skirmish there. McSorley going after that rebound. We're going to get some penalties. There's a look at the upper deck overhead camera, sponsored by Upper Deck. No one does hockey like Upper Deck.
Jari Kurri got a good shot off when he had to turn his body. Still got a lot of momentum on that shot. And McLean, of course, moved over, knew it was coming over that way, and he was ready for the rebound.
When you talk about Kurri, Bob, and we bring it up quite a bit, you have to talk about his two-way play. But you need more goals from him. But still, he's not that offensive type of player that even if he's not scoring, he doesn't hurt the team. He helps the team in a lot of other areas.
Former coach of the Kings, Pat Quinn, coached them from 1984 to 87. He's the 12th coach and will get home ice all the way to the final round because they will be the champions of the Campbell Conference. Vancouver had a chance to catch them if Detroit had lost tonight, but Detroit, with that win, they wrap up the Campbell Conference Championship with 98 points. We want to send our congratulations to the Los Angeles Junior Kings Tier 2 midget team. They won the national playoffs at Peoria, Illinois on April 5th. It was the first time ever for a Los Angeles Tier 2 team to win the national playoffs. And Rick Wilson's son, Landon Wilson, is a member of that team. So our congratulations to them. And there's some youngsters that may be playing for Los Angeles on future national teams. And there's the proud father of Landon Wilson, Rick Wilson, on the right-hand side. Also want to send congratulations to the Marina City Sharks Squirt C1 team. They won the state hockey championship. They're 11-year-olds, so we congratulate them. And congratulations to the Thousand Oaks Thunder Bantam C team for being the California state champions, and to the Burbank Golden Bears Bantam C+ team for being the state runners-up. So congratulations to all of you youth hockey players in Los Angeles and California. So the penalties, Momesso gets 2 for instigating and 5 for fighting.
Dana Merzen also picked up a 4-minute double minor. The Kings penalties were McSorley 2 minutes for roughing, Coffey 5 minutes for fighting. So as they were announced, the penalty that will go up on the board is the 4-minute double minor to Dana Merzen. So the Kings will have a power play for 4 minutes.
So a great chance for the Kings here to get back in this game. They're down 2-0. Faceoff will be outside the blue line as the fans get pumped up here. The Canucks leading, but the Kings with a 4-minute power play. The Jets have scored again in Edmonton and lead at 6-2. So, as we have said, if Winnipeg wins tonight, it doesn't matter what the Kings do in this game. They'll finish in second place and open the playoffs here at home this Saturday. Jim, what if that happens and the Kings know that this game doesn't mean anything? Do you change your style of play? Do you play any with any less intensity?
Well, I think it's a very bad habit to get into, playing while watching the scoreboard or playing up to someone else's standards. And I believe the Kings have had a problem this season doing just that. You have to try to maintain your own high standard because you have to be very consistent once the playoffs roll around.
Now the puck driven around the boards on the left side to Wayne Gretzky. Tips it to the blue line. Held in by Kurri. To Gretzky. To Robitaille. But his pass up the middle. Taken away by Vancouver. Now at center ice. Lidster drives it back behind the net. And the Kings still with 3:27 to go on this power play.
Bob, I know you can't watch the scoreboards, but it's next to impossible. Never use that as an excuse, but you know that every Kings player has been looking up there all night just to see what's happening in Edmonton.
Here's Huddy. His pass up in the air and out of the reach of Robitaille. And the Canucks try to clear it, and they do. As it hops past Corey Millen. Back to get it. Curry at center ice. Kings have not been effective on the power play tonight. They have 3 minutes left to work on this one. Here's Curry. His pass tipped down the right side by Rob Blake. Blake in deep. Blake to Millen, and he fanned out in the slot. It comes through to Jari Kurri. Kurri at the left point. Curry gives it over now the left side of Robitaille. Robitaille into Millen to Robitaille. Robitaille with 26 power play goes to Curry. Back to Luke. Left side. Robitaille into Millen. Millen waits up the middle. Blake, he shoots. Saved by McLean, and he hangs on.
Ladies and gentlemen, continuing with our fan appreciation prizes.
Still 2-0 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks. We want to wish a speedy recovery to Kings Executive Vice President Roy Malacher. He's watching the game at home tonight, resting with a bad back. That exercise, I'll tell you, it'll hurt you every time. Shouldn't exercise that much. Here's Blake with a shot, deflected, and the Canucks clear it to center ice. Here's Bure, looking for a short-hander. Bure in front, gets knocked down, and a stop made, and a penalty coming up against the Kings. Booking against the Kings as Pavel Bure gets pulled down, looking for a short-handed goal. And that's going to take care of the King power play now until only 23 seconds remain. And
Bob, I don't have a problem with a call here, but watch when his legs go up. Watch Bure. Now, what caused his legs to go up there? Absolutely nothing. Now, from the referee's looking at that call, I don't blame him. We'll get another look. There's a little bit of a hook there, nothing much. A little bit of a hook there. Then all of a sudden he dives into the air. It's a difficult call. I disagree with it. I really do.
I think with the
nothing caused his feet to shoot up other than his decision that I'm going to try and draw the penalty. He did it. Great move by him. But again, I think the referees get fooled quite a bit. You talk about it. Very difficult for them to understand when is there a penalty or when is the guy taking a dive.
I think if I saw that replay right, Ahola's stick was down near his skate blade when he went down, and I think from the referee's angle, Jim, he's probably thinking, well, that was a trip, and he calls it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He's skating from behind the plate, and it's a scoring chance. You've got to call that more than not. What I'm trying to point out again is make it easy on the referee. You have all these guys diving all the time. They never know when it's going to cost them. A lot of times it costs the penalty. It costs the player because he doesn't get a penalty call.
Savage to Bure, in deep, pass right side, save, knocked down by Rudy. The shot by Larionov. Great pass by Bure to Larionov, and Rudy got over to knock it down. It's still 2-0 Vancouver. Here's Bure again. He's got great moves. He shoots from the left side, and a save of the glove of Kelly Rudy, and he hangs on. There's Igor Larionov. Larionov out of the former Soviet Union. He's in his 3rd year in the NHL at 31 years old. He got set up beautifully here. But look at Rudy get over to knock the shot out of the air with his glove as Larionov, number 18, got the shot right here. Look at Rudy. Move over quickly and knock it down. Saves a goal there and keeps the Kings within reach. The Kings are still 2 goals down with 12:32 to go here in the 2nd period. Cliff Ronning on the face-off, and it comes over in the Kings zone to Marty McSorley. We've got a 4-on-4 skating situation here. Here's McSorley into the Vancouver zone. McSorley down the middle, but he can't get a shot. Puck is back behind the net, taken by Robert Dirk. Curry took it away from him. But now the Canucks get it back. They got Ronning breaking to center ice. Can't get it to him. Comes over on the left side to Lidster. Now to Ronning. He tips it toward Jeff Courtnall. Courtnall cut off by Blake. In to get it is Curry, but he fanned on his clearing pass behind the net, but the Kings get it again anyway. Here's Gretzky. Soft pass to Curry at center ice. Here's Curry. Left side with McSorley. 2-on-1. Curry shoots. Saved by McLean. And the rebound taken by Ronning. He clears it to center ice. Gretzky drives it right back into the Vancouver zone, but the Kings have to get onside. A lot of room for Curry on that shot, but McLean saw it all the way and made the stop. Puck is back across the King line. 20 seconds up to go on the King penalty to Peter Ahola. Then they're going to have a short power play again. Here is Huddy shooting and a save by McLean. He almost dropped the puck as Waters came by in front, but he hangs on. Now Waters gets shoved by Jeff Courtnall, and they're upset with one another. We'll be back in a moment.
Kings on attack once again. Wayne Gretzky gets the puck. He throws it over to Charlie Huddy here. Huddy has Tim Waters breaking. We've seen this so many times tonight. Kirk McLean just in perfect position. He knows where the shot's coming from. He makes all the saves look easy tonight. Knows exactly where he is positioned in the goal. Kings haven't put one by him yet.
Kirk McLean in his 5th year in the NHL. He's 6 feet, 177 pounds. He's 25 years old. Number 6 picked by New Jersey, 1984. Traded to Vancouver for Patrick Sundstrom. Greg Adams came along with him to the Vancouver Canucks in that deal. Fergus sends it over on the right side, and here's Adrian Plavsic to center ice. Plavsic, King's zone. Ian Deepy's got Linden in front. Can't get it to him as Millen chases Plavsic behind the net. Then he's double teamed in the corner. Now Linden checks Millen. Linden still with him. Linden left side, falls down on the puck and gathers it in with his arm as he slides into the boards. No whistle yet. Now Andy Van Hellemond blows the whistle. 10:59 to go here in this second period. The Canucks have a 2-0 lead. Corey Millen's upset that no penalty was called. Vancouver is experiencing only their 3rd winning season in team history. They had a winning season in 74-75 and 75-76. Here's one of the great acquisitions by the Los Angeles Kings this year. You just saw him a moment ago. Corey Millen, selected by the LA media this year as the best newcomer, the most proficient player in his first year with the Kings. Certainly he has been. 40 points in 45 games since he came to the Kings, and 5 goals in the last 9 games. Want to send wishes for a happy birthday to Tara Olson. She is an employee of Prime Ticket. Hope she has a nice day. 5 seconds left to go in this King power play. It resumed after Peter Ahola served his penalty. And the face-off in the King zone taken by Larry Robinson. The Vancouver Canucks are back at full strength right now. Both teams at full strength. Here's Robinson flipping it down the right side in the Vancouver zone, and Granato couldn't get to it. McLean cut it off. Vancouver with a 2-0 lead. Here's Pavel Bure. He's got a goal tonight. Comes across the line, but offside called against Vancouver.
King Wayne Gretzky putting some points on the board lately, but it doesn't look like he's going to catch Mario Lemieux on the Northwest Airlines leaderboard. Overall scoring in the NHL. Mario Lemieux, Kevin Stevens, a big last month in the season. They came on strong, taking over the first and second. Brett Hull, 108 points. He's the leading goal scorer in the league. There's Luc Robitaille. He falls into 5th place in overall scoring in the NHL, along with Mark Messier.
Gretzky's in his 13th year in the league, Jim, and he has never been farther down the list than 2nd in scoring. But it may happen this season. Here's Robitaille, but behind the play, we've got a penalty, and it's going to be against Robert Dirk, I believe. Or against the Kings, I'm sorry. It's going to be against the Kings, Thomas Sandstrom. So Vancouver goes back on the power play. Thomas Sandstrom for holding at 9:33, and when I looked up, Robert Dirk didn't have a stick in his hand, and he was looking toward the referee, and that's when the whistle blew. So into the penalty box, Thomas Sandstrom. Canucks 2 out of 4 with 9 shots. Look at the Kings on the power play tonight. Dismal. 0 for 3 with only 1 shot. Puck was flipped down into the Vancouver zone. You talk about Gretzky. He may be able to catch Kevin Stevens tonight, but Pittsburgh still has 2 games remaining. Lemieux, however, went out last night with a bad shoulder. Of course, he's had the back problems, so concern for Pittsburgh perhaps on his welfare when the playoffs begin. Puck is back by the King net. Here's Bure, left wing side, still with it now to the blue line to Babic, and he can't hold it in. 9:53 to go in the second period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox, and the Kings are down 2-0. Vancouver the power play. Here's Larionov to Babic, left side. Babic, his pass back to Pavel Bure. Bure, the rookie on the right side. He drives it in front. He tried to get it to Larionov to tip it in. Now up the middle. Here's Lindster. Shoots. He scores. Doug Lindster right in the slot. Beat Kelly Rudy to the glove side, and Vancouver with another power play goal, and they lead 3-0.
Great job by the Canucks to spread the Kings out on the penalty kill. They worked it around very well. Then look at this. Lindster right down the slot. Perfectly placed wrist shot. He gets a lot on that. Gets it away very quick also. But the Canucks, they kept moving around corner to corner, up and down. And finally, Litzner, that's a perfect shooting spot. You're not too far out, you're not too close to the goaltender. You have so much net to shoot at. Doug Litzner didn't waste any time. Canucks lead 3-0.
I don't know what the Canucks have done between Sunday and today to figure out the power play against the Kings. They were 1 out of 30 coming in tonight, and now all 3 of their goals have come with a man advantage. Kings are back at full strength, and Larry Robinson drives it into the Vancouver zone. Here's McIntyre. McIntyre chased by Ojic. Ojic takes him into the boards. McIntyre still with it, though. His pass in front and just shot wide to the left side. And Dave Taylor with it on the right wing side. Taylor in the corner. Taylor gets knocked down. The puck taken by Merzen. He gives it to Gino Ojic. Ojic has it taken away by McIntyre. Here's McIntyre fending off a check in the Vancouver zone. His pass hit the side of the net. Now Jay Miller takes a dive behind the net. Didn't draw the penalty. Miller gets up, still with it up the middle. Robinson shoots, he scores! Larry Robinson! In his final regular season game in a 20-year career, scores the goal, his 3rd of the year. The Kings trail 3-1.
A lot of hard work by the Kings, mucking line. John McIntyre, Dave Taylor, and Jay Miller, they worked very hard to give Larry Robinson the chance. Miller had gone down earlier. He centers the puck, and there's Robinson in that perfect shooting position again. He just beats Kirk McLean. Very strong wrist shot here. Dave Taylor shows the screen right there. He moved in front of McLean. And Larry Robinson, a happy man. And he went around to all his teammates, give him a little pat.
Miller and McIntyre with the assist at 11:15. And we get an icing call against Vancouver, so everybody in the building happy for Larry Robinson as he ends his 20-year career. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Doesn't score a lot of goals, but he gets one here in his final regular season game. And of course, as Jim said earlier, he gets cranked up for playoff time. He's got 6 Stanley Cup rings. And a pat on the back from Tom Webster. We did another face-off interview with him last night. You'll see it on Prime Ticket at a date yet to be announced. And he did an excellent job. We talk about his career and some of his memories during the great 20 years. Also did an interview with Randy Gregg of the Vancouver Canucks, a medical doctor. Canucks with it. Here's Tom Fergus in deep shoots, and it's tipped wide by Kelly Rudy. Fergus went for the short side on Rudy. Now Fergus again. A wraparound. Can't get the shot. Again, Tom Fergus with it. Drops it off left wing side. Here's Trevor Linden. Linden. Left side to Babbage. Babbage in front. Shot by Courtnall. Saved by Rudy. And the puck cleared to center ice. Rudy with a couple of big saves Sunday night on Courtnall, and he just beat him again at point blank. And now the puck comes up into the King bench. It was deflected into the bench. Referee Andy Van Helleman saying no penalty here against the goaltender. That puck was deflected out of play. We'll be right back. The last couple of goals, Lidster for Vancouver, his 5th. It came on the power play from Adams and Babbage at 10:26. Then Larry Robinson with his 3rd of the year. Miller and McIntyre assists for the Kings at 11:15. The Kings are down 3-1 with 7:45 to go here in the second period. Here's Tony Granato's pass to center ice, knocked down by Ronning. Granato got it back again. Now it's taken away by Sandlak, but covered up by Peter Ahola. Here's Rob Blake. Blake sends it across the Vancouver line. Lidster on it there. Blake's on the back of him. Puck is held in by Sandstrom. Now behind the net, here's Robitaille. Well, he's got Granato in front. Can't get it to him. He looked to see if Granato was in front and tried to sweep it to him, but it was knocked down on the way in, and the Canucks cleared to center out of the reach of Robert Cron. Puck taken by the Kings, and now the right side set in by Sandstrom, and a penalty to Van. Interference going to be called here against who? Ronning? Going to get Cliff Ronning. So the Kings get another chance on the power play. Sergio Momesso, who's got a goal tonight and has played pretty well, just got kicked out of the game. Slammed his stick into the glass. There's a check along the boards by Momesso.
Number 7.
And Ronning, though, got the, I don't know what he's so happy about. He got the penalty. That's why I waited. I thought he looks too happy to have gotten a penalty. And Paul Coffey gets a 10-minute misconduct. Momesso also a 10-minute misconduct. So he's not out of the game, but he's out for the rest of this period. He and Coffey with 7:10 remaining.
Bob, that last play, a carbon copy, Tony Granato just flying up into the air. Again, he had his stick wrapped in his midsection, but all of a sudden, the skates fly everywhere. Tonight, Andy Van Hellemond is buying those dives, and he's calling the penalties. That's what Ronning was upset at, and he picked up an extra 2-minute penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct as he skated off towards the penalty box.
So Tom Webster's Kings won the division last year. They finished second this year and get the home ice advantage in the opening round of the playoffs. The Edmonton Oilers finished with 36 wins, 34 defeats, and 10 ties. Now off the draw, the Kings with a power play for 4 minutes here on the double minor to Cliff Ronning. Kings with it. Here's Jari Kurri. Kurri sends it over on the left side to Corey Millen. Millen gives it away. Gretzky. It's tipped away by Lidster. Lidster's pass to Linden, and he clears it the length of the ice. The Kings with a great chance here, but as we have said, they have not played well on the power play tonight. They're down 3-1, and they've got 3.5 minutes left with a man advantage. Here's Charlie Huddy. Fires it down the right side, back behind the net. Kings, of course, would like to score before that first 2 minutes wraps up. Then they've still got the man advantage, but the Canucks clear it again. The Kings are sending it into the Vancouver zone, but they're not getting to the puck and holding it in and starting to move it around.
Also, the Canucks letting the Kings play with the puck on the outside. The Kings doing nothing to make the Vancouver Canucks respect the slot. Therefore, the Canucks just keep it out there and say, shoot whenever you want it.
Bure intercepts Robitaille's pass. Now he intercepts Bure's pass. Bad behind-the-back pass by Robitaille. Broken up and a pass to Bure, but offside. Murzin intercepted Robitaille's pass, but the Canucks were offside. 2:56 remaining in the Kings' 4-minute power play. But, Jim, they're throwing the puck around with no rhyme or reason here. Blind passes that are being picked off. Certainly no way to get your power play tuned up for Saturday night.
The last dump in by Charlie Huddy was a great example of how not to do it. He skated in. You can't fault him for that. But the Kings had 3 players stop at the blue line. So when Charlie Huddy throws it in, they can't pick up their speed that quickly. Huddy, if he has to throw it in there, chase it down. What the Kings should be doing is their forwards should be backing up, building up speed, so when the dump in arrives, they can arrive with it.
3-1 Vancouver. Kings still on the power play. Pass out of the reach there of Donnelly, but Blake has it. He fires it off the boards. Granato had to hold up to stay onside. Puck taken by Clamsick. He's checked hard into the boards by Donnelly. Kings hold it in. Sandstrom to Donnelly. Shoots. Save. Rebound. Knocked down. Granato went for the puck in midair. Couldn't get it. Good check thrown by Blake. Puck held in by Donnelly. Now Larionov is there. Sandstrom with it. Fires it off the right wing boards. Here's McSorley for the Kings. He didn't get to it in time, and it's cleared by Murzin. Chased down by Bure. With speed. Checked by Huddy. Bure shoots. Save. Rudy didn't see the rebound, but it was picked up by Tony Granato. Here come the Kings to center. Here is McSorley with it. Has trouble with it at center ice. And his pass taken away by Larionov. Larionov peels back to center ice. His pass hit the skate of McSorley, now taken by Huddy. Huddy's pass over the left side. Sandstrom shoots and a save by McLean, and he hangs on. 1:47 to go in the King power play.
And one more fan appreciation prize.
4:57 left in the second period. You get a good look at John McIntyre. He had a severely broken nose. That's why he's wearing that full face shield.
Look at the chance for the Kings. Mike Donnelly just takes the pass right through the seam, has a couple whacks at it on the rebound. The Kings keep it alive. Then Pavel Bure goes in. Charlie Huddy was all over him, but Bure still got his backhand on it. You can see Kelly Rudy. He thought he had it covered. It was loose. Donnelly had a chance on the power play to get that 30th goal. He still has 24 minutes and 57 seconds to try it.
Kings have had 3 shots on this power play, but unable to score. They're trailing 3-1. Face off to the right of Kirk McLean. McLean looking for his 38th victory here tonight. He came into the game tied for first in the NHL in wins, and the puck taken by the Canucks. They come to center ice, working on a 3-on-2. Adams to Babbage. Babbage, his pass. Tipped back into the corner and taken now by McIntyre.
He's on you, Jay.
Now behind the net, Adams goes for it there. He gets checked. Here's Jay Miller. Miller assisted on Larry Robinson's goal tonight. It comes to Curry. Headmans it up the middle to McIntyre, to Blake. His pass in the slot. Loose puck. McIntyre can't get to it. Jay Miller reaches out and puts it in deep, but the Canucks drive it around to the right point. Blake holds it in. Here's Curry. Curry, left side. His pass. Wide off the boards, taken by McIntyre. Tipped away by Jim Agnew. Adams with it for Vancouver, and the Canucks will bring it to center ice. 1 minute to go in the King power play. Canucks are offside on the play. 4:10 to go in the second period. 3-1 in favor of Vancouver, but the Kings have clinched second place in the Smythe division, regardless of the outcome of this game. And the Stanley Cup playoffs begin here at the Great Western Forum this Saturday, and then the second game in the first round will be played here on Monday night. Face-off outside the King blue line. 1 minute to go in the Kings' 4-minute power play. The Canucks have 3 power play goals tonight. The Kings scored at full strength. Larry Robinson getting the King goal. Charlie Huddy flips it high in the Vancouver zone. Here is Robitaille. Robitaille kicks it loose along the boards to Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky's pass into Millen to Robitaille to Gretzky. Gretzky still with it. Up the middle to Huddy. Huddy feeds it over to Curry. Curry on the left side. Had trouble with it for a moment. Now gives it to Robitaille. His pass cleared by Trevor Linden. 25 seconds to go in the King power play. Here's Corey Millen across the line, left side, driving on Lindster. Millen fends off the check, gives it to Gretzky. Gretzky with 14 seconds to go in the power play. Into Millen, tipped it, hit the side of the net. Millen with it again. Behind the net, he's got Robitaille in front. Robitaille shot wide to the right side. Didn't get a lot on it. Robitaille shoots again, knocked down to the blue line. Held in by Huddy. He shoots, blocked in front. Gretzky couldn't get to it. The Canucks are back at full strength, but they give it away. Here is Curry against the boards. Can't hang on. Bure kicks it out and clears it to center ice. 3-1 Vancouver. They killed the 4-minute King power play. It's 3-1 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks. They're looking for their 4th win of the year against the Kings. The Kings have won 2, and 1 game ended in a tie. Canucks with it back in their own zone. They're going to meet the Winnipeg Jets in the opening round of the Smythe Division semifinal. Here is Ronning. Pass in front. Saved by Rudy. Bure was right there, but couldn't tip it in. Pavel Bure with it again. He gives it to Larionov, taken away by the Kings. Back to center ice. Donnelly. Penalty coming up against Larionov. A penalty to Larionov. Holding against the Canucks, but so far they've been content to take some penalties. The Kings ineffective with a man advantage. He pulled down Mike Donnelly. There's Donnelly with the puck at the King blue line, and he gets pulled down. So the Kings operate on another power play. They're down 3-1, and we have 2:23 to go here in the second period. Kingston trying to get the crowd going, and the Kings going here. Here's Marty McSorley in front of the King bench, and it's handed away from him by Adams. The Kings they can't even hang on to the puck now on the power play. Rob Blake starts it up. Drives it into the Vancouver zone. Puck comes around the right side, and who's got possession of it? Kings hold it in, but now it bounces over to Adrian Classic, and he clears it out to center ice. Now Rob Blake with it at the red line. Blake checked by Robert Krog. Blake down to his knees, gives it to Donnelly. Now a pass back right side. Sandstrom, his shot. Didn't get much on it. Rolled off his stick and hit the side of the net. Here's Tony Granato to the blue line to Blake. Back over to Granato. Granato with it. Pass is tipped by Merzen, and Adams and Granato fight for it. Now Merzen with it. His backhander knocked down. He's double teamed against the boards. Who's got the puck? Comes out to the blue line to Granato. Here's Granato. His shot deflected off the glass. Comes off on the right side. Takes down 3-1 with the man advantage here. Late in the second period. Mike Donnelly up the middle. Shot by Blake up high. Rebound the back of the net taken by Granado. Granado on the left wing side with 40 seconds to go in the power play. Granado trying to feed it through the middle. Broken up and cleared by Adrian Platzik. Nice play by Platzik. We've got less than a minute to go in the second period. Kings moving down the left side to Robitaille. Robitaille to Corey Millen. Millen, he's checked into the boards hard by Jim Agnew. Back behind the net, Robitaille gives it to Gretzky in the corner. Kings on the power play for 20 more seconds. Gretzky right side up the middle to Huddy. Huddy shoots, saved by McLean, and he grabs it in midair. 41 seconds to go here in the... Wayne Gretzky held off the scoreboard here tonight. The only King goal by Larry Robinson, his third of the year, from Jay Miller and John McIntyre. 18 seconds to go in the King power play. And off the draw in the Vancouver zone. Kings with it. Robinson left point, holds it in, gets it over to Yari Curry. Curry left side, shoots, knocked down in front. Robitaille, his shot wide. Gretzky throws it in front, knocked down by McLean. And cleared back into the King zone, and the power play is over. Kings fail again with a man advantage. It's still 3-1 Vancouver. 17 seconds to go in the second period. We'll have an update from the Prime Ticket press box at the end of this period and an interview with Paul Coffey. The Canucks drive it off the boards down in the King zone. Kelly Rudy will play it behind the net. 3 seconds to go in the period. Larry Robinson with it. And that's the end of the second period. So the Kings are down 3-1 at the end of 2 periods here tonight. Larry Robinson with the only. Weeks' last start was on March 27th at Winnipeg. He's 1-3-0 with the Los Angeles Kings. 4.38 goals against. So Steve Weeks comes on to play the third period here, and Kelly Rudy faced 24 shots. He allowed 3 goals. So with Steve Weeks in goal, the Kings trying to get a win in this game tonight, although it's not necessary because Winnipeg beat Edmonton 6-2, and the Kings will definitely finish in second place in the Smythe Division. The Stanley Cup playoffs opening round begins here on Saturday night, the Kings and the Oilers, and then continues on Monday here at the Great Western Forum, and there still are some tickets for those games available at the Forum box office and Ticketmaster outlets. Puck cleared up the middle of center ice and taken away by Doug Lidster of Vancouver. Both teams are at full strength as we start the third period. Robinson sends it over and then gets it back. And Robinson's pass on the right side to Granado, but the Kings are offside on the play. Here's a look at the Kings playoff schedule in the first round. April 18 and 20, Saturday, Monday at Los Angeles, then up to Edmonton for 2, Sunday, April 26th here at Los Angeles, and if a 7th game is needed, it will be on Thursday, April 30th here at the Great Western Forum.
Vancouver penalty to number 25.
We get penalties here. Jim Sandlak for Vancouver and Tim Waters for the Kings. They get 2 minutes each for slashing. So the teams will remain at full strength here early in the third period. Paul Coffey still sitting in there, serving the remainder of his penalty, which occurred in the second period. He got a 10-minute misconduct, so did Sergio Momesso of Vancouver. Here's Dave Babbitt back in the Vancouver zone, and now tipped up to center ice to Larionov. Larionov across the line, but his pass broken up by Yari Curry, but he can't clear it out. Poirier with it. He tried to give it back to Larionov, taken away by the Kings. At center ice, McSorley to Curry. Curry back over to McSorley. He comes down the right side as he played it off the boards. Can't get around Jim Agnew. Agnew gives it to Greg Adams. Now to center ice, Larionov back to Adams, overskated. Puck taken by the Kings. Gretzky ahead to Curry. Curry across the line, shoots and a save. Rebound up the middle, but tipped back to the blue line. Curry had a good shot there, but the save was made. Here's Larionov across the line, drop pass broken up by Robinson to Gretzky. Here's Gretzky on the right side, 4-on-1. Gretzky, right side to Kanelski, and a shot wide to the left side. Gretzky in front to Robinson. Couldn't get a good shot, and it's covered by McLean. A great chance for the Kings, and they couldn't get it past Kirk McLean. It's still 3-1 Canucks.
Never overlook the fundamentals, even in great players. Look at Wayne Gretzky carrying the puck, has his head up all the way. He's looking for someone to pass to. Finally, right on the stick of Bob Kudelski. Kudelski misses the wide open net. Then Larry Robinson had a couple of chances right after that. That pass comes from the greatest passer to ever play the game, Wayne Gretzky. He sees the ice better than anyone else. You saw the reason why. Get your head up and read the play.
The all-time assist leader, in addition to being the all-time point leader in NHL history, Wayne Gretzky. Robinson now at the middle, a pass by Kudelski was deflected away by Jeff Courtnall and cleared out to center ice. Kings have got Huddy and Robinson back, and we get an icing call against Vancouver.
We've just ran down all the scoring statistics of Wayne Gretzky. Take a look on the Northwest Airline leaderboard. Assist leaders in the NHL. It looks like Gretzky may have this crown once again for the 14th consecutive season. He leads Lemieux by 3 assists. And Lemieux was hurt in the last game. Adam Oates now over in Boston, always up there. Brian Leetch, a defenseman with the Rangers. And there's Gretzky, now the captain of the Los Angeles Kings. Kings tuning up for the playoffs.
And off the draw, the puck comes over to Jeff Courtnall for the Vancouver Canucks. He's tied up by Kudelski. Puck comes up on the right side to Trevor Linden. Vancouver's ahead 3-1. They've never trailed the game. They had a 3-0 lead before Larry Robinson scored for the Kings. Here's Corey Millen. But the linesman Ryan Bozak gets in the way as Donnelly gets checked. Now the puck loose at center ice and batted over to Trevor Linden. Here's Linden across the line. Gives it to Jeff Courtnall. Courtnall checked into the boards on the right side. Canucks try to hold it in play. Here's Tom Fergus on the right side. Now the puck comes loose to Linden with a hard shot over the outstretched glove of Steve Weeks. Weeks has come out here in the third period and in place of Kelly Rudy. Puck comes up below on the boards and is dug out by the Kings and cleared to center ice, but batted away by Dana Merzen back into the Kings zone. We're early in the third period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox, final regular season game for the Los Angeles Kings. They will finish in second place in the Smythe Division regardless of what they do in this game tonight. Edmonton has lost to Winnipeg. It'll be Vancouver against Winnipeg and the Kings against the Edmonton Oilers in the Smythe Division semifinals starting on Saturday. Stanley Cup playoffs. Over the Adams Division, it'll be Hartford against Montreal and Boston against Buffalo. Here's Gino Ojic to center ice, and his pass deflected by Charlie Huddy. Huddy tied up on the left side, but pokes it out to center ice. Vancouver with it again. Vancouver Canucks, when they get a lead, they're tough to come back on. They're 5th best in defense in the NHL. They allow only 3.0 goals a game. Across the line, Larry Robinson's pass broken up and sent back to center ice now. Here's Ojic from outside the blue line. His shot is wide. Played by Weeks behind the net. Just about 4 minutes gone by here in the third period. Nate Babbage, the veteran defenseman, his pass taken away and chipped off the glass out to center ice in front of the King bench. Now the Canucks get it to Robert Cron, but offside called against Vancouver. 3-1 in favor of the Canucks here in the third period. We'll be back in just a moment.
Canucks lead the Kings 3-1. There's Wayne Gretzky. Now, a few seconds ago, I gave a stat. I know how great Wayne Gretzky is. I said he's led the league this year for his 14th straight season in assists. Well, Gretzky's only been in the league 13 years. So that's obviously not correct. It's only 13. Not even Wayne Gretzky can pick up that one, but I think perhaps next year we'll probably see him in the same spot.
Yeah, you'll be right a year from now.
Yes.
You're just jumping the gun a little bit. You're just making another of your famous predictions, aren't you? Offside called here against the Kings at the Vancouver line. We're talking about the playoff matchups. In the Smythe Division, they're set. In the Adams Division, they're set. In the Norris Division, they're set. Detroit will play Minnesota, and Chicago will play St. Louis. The only division now where they're not set is the Patrick Division. The Rangers will finish first, Washington second, but New Jersey and Pittsburgh still in doubt as to which team is going to get third place. Right now, New Jersey's in third with 87 points. Pittsburgh in fourth with 85. New Jersey's got 1 game left. Pittsburgh has 2 left, and they are tied in wins with 38 apiece. Detroit will have the home ice advantage against Minnesota. Chicago will have the home ice advantage against St. Louis. Montreal, of course, at home against Hartford, and Boston will have the home ice advantage on Buffalo. Vancouver with a home ice advantage in their battle against Winnipeg, and the Kings with a home ice advantage in their battle against Edmonton. Here's Ronning driving it into the Kings zone and over the net. Steve Weeks pokes it in deep. It's taken away by Momesso. Up the middle to Sandlak. In front to Ronning, and a save by Weeks. And he covers up right on the goal line. John McIntyre threw a check at Ronning behind the net. But Steve Weeks makes the stop right on the doorstep, and the Kings still trail by 2.
Never doubt the courage of Cliff Ronning, just a little guy. He goes to the areas where goals are scored from. Sandlak, weak backhand here. It's a pass. Ronning has 1, 2, 3 cracks at it. Finally, the puck bounces out of the way. Then John McIntyre comes in. Get another look at it. Ronning really didn't have it on his stick, couldn't get a good shot off, but he had 2 or 3 other whacks at it. There's McIntyre coming in, doing his job, clearing the front of the net so that Steve Weeks could finally cover up.
Now off the draw, the Kings within their own zone, both teams at full strength. Peter Ahola's pass comes off the boards of center ice, and Babbage chops at it and sends it right back down to the Kings zone. Another sellout crowd, 16,005. The Kings have sold out all 40 home games this year and 71 straight going back to the playoffs last season. The Kings become the first professional team ever in Los Angeles sports history to sell out all their home games. Now Momesso at center ice. He drives it hard at Weeks, who knocks it down. Puck taken by the Kings. Here is Paul Coffey. He and Momesso have served their misconducts and are back in action. Pass up to Gretzky at center ice. His pass to Coffey. Coffey with McSorley. Coffey shoots, and a save by McLean. Puck taken by Ronning for Vancouver, and he clears it out to center ice. 14:25 to go. We're in the third period with the Kings down 3-1. Here's Coffey again. Great skater to watch as he comes across the blue line with the puck taken away by the Canucks and cleared off the boards by Merzen to center ice. And we have a whistle behind the play. McSorley and Merzen. Then McSorley throws another punch at Plavsic. And Marty McSorley is going to go to the penalty box. Now he gets hit from behind by Ojik. Now McSorley throwing a punch at Nedved. Now Coffey and Ojik are tied up. Now Plavsic and McSorley wrap each other up. Well, Andy Van Helleman, I think, is going to kick Ojik out of the game. He's now over standing between, or not between, but near Plavsic and McSorley. Plavsic goes down to the ice, and McSorley down on top of him. So we're going to get a lot of penalties out of this. 14:11 to go. McSorley is through for the night. Vancouver leads 3-1. We'll be right back. Well, we've got a wild occurrence here at the Great Western Forum with several fights breaking out. Marty McSorley has gone to the King dressing room. Gino Ojik, I believe, got a game misconduct. And John Candy saying, "I'm glad I'm an actor, not a hockey player." John Candy looking on as we'll give you more Kings Award winners tonight. Most inspirational player, Tony Granato. That's voted on by the Kings teammates. Community service, Luke Robitaille gets that award. 2 more selected by the Los Angeles media. The leading scorer, Wayne Gretzky. And the most valuable player, goaltender Kelly Hrudey. And I think that's a good choice. Boy, he has been a workhorse. Went about 18 straight starts there with no relief. And has had an outstanding season. He's getting a little rest here in the third period. But Kelly Hrudey, the most valuable player for the Los Angeles Kings this year. There's Kelly. He played the first 2 periods tonight. Faced 24 shots. Gave up 3 goals. And he'll be in goal, I'm sure, as the starter on Saturday night when the Stanley Cup playoffs begin. Last season he won 26. This season he won 26. If the Kings come back and win now, the win is going to go to Steve Weeks. Steve Weeks in goal for the Kings. Hrudey will finish his home record unless the Kings come back and win. It'll be 16-6-8 at home, 10-11-5 on the road. Here's the announcement on the penalties now.
Number 6, Adrian Klapsik, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 29, Gino Ojic, a double minor, 4 minutes for roughing, and a 10-minute misconduct.
Well, there have got to be more penalties than that.
Los Angeles penalties. Number 33, Marty McSorley. 5 minutes for cross-checking. 2 minutes for roughing. 2 minutes for instigating a fight. 5 minutes for fighting. A 10-minute misconduct. And a game misconduct. Time of the penalties, 5:49.
We're back at the Great Western Forum there to see part of another sellout crowd. The Kings' 71st straight and 40th this year. Adrian Klapsik's penalty is up on the board. It's 2 minutes, but Jim and I were discussing that. He got into a fight. How does he not get 5 minutes for fighting?
2 minutes for instigating a fight.
Here are the penalties again. McSorley gets 2 minutes for instigating a fight, 5 minutes for fighting, 2 minutes for roughing, 5 minutes for cross-checking, a 10-minute misconduct, and a game misconduct. There's Adrian Klapsik. All they've got listed for him so far is 2 minutes for roughing. Gino Ojic gets 4 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. The Kings are down 3-1 with 14:11 to go here in the third period.
Bob, what will happen is Klapsik's penalty does go up on the board for 2 minutes. Marty McSorley, everything else cancels out except the 2 major penalties to Marty McSorley. So the Kings will be short-handed after the 2 minutes for 8 minutes in total, and those will be major penalties. So the Vancouver Canucks can score as many times as they can, and the Kings will not be able to substitute during those major penalties.
Marty McSorley picked up 34 minutes in penalties right there here in the third period. Now play underway again. McSorley's penalty minutes on the board. I don't think I've ever seen that many on the board at one time. 9 minutes and 51 seconds and counting. Start out with 10 minutes, as Jim told you, in penalties. Here's Lidster with a drive deflected wide by Cordnall. Both teams are a man shy because the penalty to Klapsik is on the board. Here's a pass into Coffey, but broken up, taken by Ronning. Ronning on the right side. Ronning hangs on. His shot saved by Steve Weeks. Now here's Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky up the center ice. His pass over to Curry. Right side it goes to Honey. He shoots and a save by McLean. Now Dirk and Honey whack at each other, but Andy Van Hellemond lets them play. Here's Cordnall. His pass to Cliff Ronning. Vancouver at 3-1. Ronning with Dirk. Ronning shoots. Saved by Weeks. Nice save by Steve Weeks on the 2-on-1. Here comes Gretzky. 3-on-2 for the Kings. Gretzky right side. Gretzky across the line. Offside. Called against the Kings. We'll be back. It's 3-1 Vancouver. Face-off will be outside the Vancouver blue line. The final game of the regular season for the Los Angeles Kings, and they're down 3-1. Both teams are a man shy. In 53 seconds, the Vancouver Canucks are going to have a power play for about 8 minutes. Here on the right side, cutting in front is Nedved. He shoots wide as he fell down. He shot it wide to the left side. Kings bring it back to center ice, down 3-1. Pass into McIntyre. Right wing. Coming down in front, and a shot knocked down. The save and a rebound knocked away. Blake cut in on the right side. He got pulled down. No penalty call. Well, yes, there is a penalty. I'm sorry. They did call a penalty as Blake got pulled down with 12:38 to go in the third period. And the Canucks get a penalty here. Dana Merzen having words with Wayne Gretzky as Merzen goes to the penalty box. Let's take a look at that. Blake cut in and got pulled down.
Dana Merzen, number 5, beat badly on the outside. And that didn't fit the criteria for a penalty shot because Blake really wasn't right in behind Merzen. But watch this. This is intentional. This guy is going to push the legs out, no doubt whatsoever, not even bothering to try and catch up with Blake. Like I say, I don't really think it fits all of the criteria. But I'd like to see a penalty shot in that instance. At least show an effort to try to catch the player. A little bit dangerous right there, too. Merzen going at the back of the legs of Rob Blake.
Now the Kings have a power play, a 4-on-3 skating advantage. Lapsick has 27 seconds left in his penalty, and Merzen in for 2 minutes. McSorley's penalty is down to 8 minutes and 27 seconds. Face off to the left of McLean. The game is still in doubt. It's Vancouver 3, the Kings 1. The Oilers lost tonight. The Kings will finish in second in the Smythe. Here is Coffey. His pass down the right side to Robitaille. 4-on-3 advantage for the Kings. Here is Coffey to Robitaille. Robitaille right side to Coffey to Gretzky. Gretzky shoots just wide to the right side of the rebound, all the way back into the Kings zone. 6 seconds left to go on this power play for the Kings. Here's Coffey across the line. He gives it on the right side. Coffey in front, and he just tipped it wide. The Canucks get Lapsick out of the penalty box. Both teams are shy a man, but they are at equal strength. Here is Lidster into the Kings zone. Lidster in deep, poked away by Paul Coffey. To Robitaille, to Gretzky. Here's Gretzky across the line with Granato. Drops it for Granato. Right wing, he shoots wide to the left side. Rebound off the board. Vancouver with it. They come to center ice. Here is Larionov across the line. Feeds it up the middle. Now in front. Babbage waits. Pass in front wide of Adams. Taken by the Kings. Here's Gretzky. Gretzky to center. Behind the back pass to Huddy. Huddy right side up the middle. Granato chopped at it but got it up high and over the net. But driven up into the crowd.
Not bad action right here. The team's one-man short, back and forth. Take a look at how the Kings season ranks in Kings history. It's only the 6th best. You go down and see right now, 84 points. That could move depending on tonight. Back in 74-75, Bob Pulford, the coach, the Kings with 105 points. A season ago, 102 points for the Kings. It's not a bad year, not a great year. Everyone talking all along. Perhaps the Kings setting their sights on the playoffs. Not all that concerned with what happens in the regular season.
You know, back in that year, 1974-75, with 105 points, the Kings lost only 17 games all year. They had 21 ties thrown in there. Kings were in the division with Montreal in that year, and Montreal won the division with 113 points. Taken by Ronning for Vancouver. He gets shot. Trevor Linden with it. Gets it quickly over to Lidster. 34 seconds left to go in the Vancouver penalty. Here is Ronning with a shot, and then they're going to have the man advantage. McSorley's 10-minute penalty that was on the board is now down to 6:52. Here's Lidster, right point, into Ronning, knocked down by Weeks, and sitting on the ice, he pokes it into the corner. Kings down 3-1. Here's Sandstrom to center. Sandstrom with Ahola. Sandstrom across the line. Peter Ahola with it. Ahola can't get a shot. Right side, Donnelly shoots, deflected off the glass. Puck comes back on the right side. We've got Sandstrom upset, and the whistle blew. Sandstrom and Dirk staring at one another. And we're going to get penalties out of this. Right now, the Canucks are only 4 seconds away from having a power play. Vancouver leads 3-1. Gino Ojic comes back and goes over to the penalty box. He got a 10-minute misconduct. He's not going to be able to play for a while. But
Vancouver penalty.
when he went to the dressing room, I thought he had been given a game misconduct, but he was not. And he comes back and goes over in the penalty box.
Get a look at the penalties. There's Sandstrom behind the net with Dirk, and Dirk throws a good left. He catches Sandstrom. Still waiting to see the penalty from Thomas Sandstrom. Well, Sandstrom gets 2 for receiving. Dirk gets 2 for giving. Both players in the penalty box. Bob let us know only 4 seconds remaining in that minor penalty to Dana Merzen and the Canucks. Then they go on the power play again. They'll have over 6 minutes with the man advantage.
10:42 to go here in the third period, with the Kings ahead or behind 3-1. For Vancouver, the goal scored tonight, Sergio Momesso is 20th. Pavel Bure is 33rd. Doug Lidster, his 5th. Larry Robinson has the only King goal, his 3rd of the year, assisted by Jay Miller and John McIntyre. Now Lidster starting out. Over to Babbage. Power play on now. The Canucks have 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go in this power play, and it's a major power play. They can score as many times as possible, and the Kings will lock it back at full strength. These are the 2 5-minute penalties to Marty McSorley. Now the puck in the Vancouver zone. Corey Millen on the right side. He gets it about Kadelsky. Vancouver zone. Gives it to Corey Millen. Here's Millen. He's got Kadelsky in the slot, gives it to Waters with a shot wide to the right side. Rebound out to Kadelsky. He holds it in. Puts it back behind the net. Puck taken by Babbage. The Canucks have all their goals on the power play tonight, and they've got 5.5 minutes yet to work on this one. Puck driven into the Kings zone. Larry Robinson over to get it. He gives it ahead. Kings have a 3-on-2 working the center ice. Here's Waters. He gives it back to Curry. Curry to Gretzky. Gretzky to Curry. Curry in deep. Goes behind the net. Curry still with it. His pass broken up, and the Canucks are going to clear it. Here's Robert Cron, but now he goes back in his own zone, chased by Gretzky. Now the Kings try to take it away. Here's Gretzky, left wing side. His pass in front, and a shot knocked down. Shot was by Coffey. The Canucks had a chance to clear it, and Cron skated back into his own zone, then got in trouble. Here's Peter Nedved at center ice, and he drives it in. Puck comes around the boards on the right side. Here's Pavel Bure. Bure, right side. He's a candidate for Rookie of the Year, but the Kings take it away. Here's Granato to center ice. He is hooked and pulled down, but no penalty call. No penalty. Bure gives it to Sandlak for Vancouver. Sandlak, King zone, drops it to Plavsic. Now broken up, and it comes all the way back in the Vancouver zone. 4.5 minutes left to go on the penalty to Marty McSorley. A major power play for the Canucks here. Cliff Ronning with it. Vancouver ahead 3-1. Third period with 8.5 minutes to go. Here's Momesso. Across the line. Hip check, but he gets away from that. Hip check by Blake. Now the puck comes up to center ice. Here across the line, Granato. He's pulled down. And a penalty this time to Plavsic. Delayed call. Kings with it. Blake had it taken away. And we get a penalty against Vancouver. 8:14 to go in the third period. Kings down by 2. Jim Sandlak is really upset. He's number 25. The linesmen have him wrapped up. Now Momesso's trying to get at Blake. Mike Civic. Oh, and there's a spear by Blake. Well, to say the least, this game is deteriorating. The Kings were going to come out of this with Vancouver getting an extra penalty, but now Blake is gone from the game.
Well, Bob, this is the second time tonight where a linesman escorted a player off the ice. There was only one linesman in the middle of the ice. That's what Rob Blake was upset with last game in his fight. He felt that a linesman grabbed a hold of him, then let go, and all of a sudden the Canuck players there standing there throwing punches. Never condone a spear like Rob Blake did there. But one linesman had Blake, no one had Momesso. You've got to operate as a unit, a partner when the linesmen are in that situation. The players are very fearful that one man's going to get loose and start hammering the other guy. And that's what Blake was upset about there.
Ryan Bozak had Sandlak tied up. Bozak, the other linesman, and he was moving Sandlak out of the way. So that left Mike Civic between Momesso and Blake. Now, Andy Van Helleman, the referee, has gone right into the Kings penalty box, and he's talking with the penalty timekeeper there. He's not out on the ice anymore. There you see him with the orange armband. He's in the penalty box.
All the players have finally got their wish. The referee in the penalty box. I love it.
Yeah, that's something that I don't think I've ever seen. Now they're going to let Andy out of the penalty box.
We'll get a look at the first penalty on the upper deck overhead cam. The Kings stop the play right here. Rob Blake, he gets a piece of Momesso. Then the puck goes the other way. It bounces over the stick of Blake, but Granato is on the breakaway. And he's going to get caught by Plavsic. Again, I have my doubts about this one. It's as much Tony Granato grabbing onto the stick of Adrian Plavsic as it is Plavsic hooking him. But again, it is a scoring chance. Watch this. What does Granato do right here? He grabs a hold of the stick. Look at his legs. Watch, all of a sudden, they go out from underneath them. Nothing's doing that except for Granato. But again, I'd rather see a penalty called on a scoring chance situation like that. Difficult situation for the referee, and he's been hell of an all night.
I think it's getting more difficult when players are doing that. The fans get upset, the teams get upset, and when you look at it on the replay, you say, hey, that's no penalty there. Now Granato over in the penalty box. We'll bring you the penalties that have been called here. Doug Mann, our statistician, hardest he's worked all year. All right, we've got penalties here. Jim Sandlak.
2 minutes for slashing and a 10-minute misconduct.
We'll let David Courtney tell you about it.
Number 27, Sergio Momesso, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 6, Adrian Plavsic, 2 minutes for hooking. The Kings penalties, number 21, Tony Granato, 2 minutes for roughing. Number 4, Rob Blake, 5 minutes for spearing and an automatic game misconduct. Time of the penalties, 11:46.
So Rob Blake is out of the game. 5 minutes for spearing and the automatic game misconduct. We'll be back in a moment. We're back at the Great Western Forum with Vancouver ahead of the Kings 3-1 in the third period of a penalty-filled finale for the Kings. 8 minutes and 14 seconds left in the game. The Kings have 2 major penalties on the board. 4 minutes and 3 seconds remain in Marty McSorley's major, and 5 minutes now to Rob Blake for a major. The Canucks have 2 minors on the board, Adrian Plavsic and Sergio Momesso. So you talk about a lot of ice out there. There's only 3 skaters for each team out on the ice. Here's a guy that might take advantage of that, Paul Coffey. Coffey on the right side. He gets it ahead toward Corey Millen. Broken up. Here's a break to center ice, and it's going to be taken by Bure. He's all alone on Steve Weeks. Bure shoots wide to the left side. Bure had all kinds of space and time, and now the puck taken by Paul Coffey.
Now Val Bure better watch out. He tried to kick that into his skates, make a great move, and it didn't work out. Next time, I don't know if the Kings are going to let him away with that one.
Here's Donnelly in front, a backhander saved by McLean, and he covers up. Now Lidster and Donnelly shoving one another.
I'd love to see a player trying to be exciting. I have no problem with that. What the Kings are going to think of this move right here is that Bure's trying to rub it in here. 3-1, the game has kind of deteriorated into a lot of penalties. He'll get away with it this time, but he might not get away with it a few other times. I'm sure a few of the Kings players have a few words with him to say, okay, you can beat us, but never rub it in.
Bure, born in Russia, number 6 pick in 1989. There's Steve Weeks. He came on in relief of Kalle Rudy here in the third period. Kings are down 3-1 with a face-off in the Vancouver zone. And still only 3 skaters on the ice for each team. Sandstrom, Robitaille, and Coffey for the Kings. Babbage with Ronning and Linden for Vancouver. Here's Cliff Ronning. Across the King line, taken away by Luc Robitaille. Robitaille heels back to the King line. Ronning tips it away and gets it again, but now Sandstrom comes in. He gives it to Robitaille. Now over to Paul Coffey. Coffey to Sandstrom with Robitaille. 2-on-1. Sandstrom to Robitaille. He shoots wide to the left side. Puck comes to the blue line to Coffey, but taken away by Vancouver. Here's Trevor Linden. Linden to center ice. The Kings have not been very accurate on their shots when they have had chances tonight. Kadelsky shot wide with an open corner. Robitaille just shot one wide. 6:49 to go in the third period. Canucks across the line, and Babbage can't come down the middle. It's taken away. Here's Thomas Sandstrom. Sandstrom coming to center. He's got 1 goal in his last 10 games. Across the line, Robitaille. The trailer, Robitaille shoots, saved by McLean. Puck comes over the left side to Sandstrom again. His pass is going to come out to center ice, and Robitaille back to get it. In 13 seconds, the Canucks are going to have a power play. Here's a penalty against Vancouver. Honey got hooked. The Canucks would have had a 10-minute major power play, but they've been taking penalties along the way. And now with only 9 seconds left in Vancouver's penalties to Plavsic and Momesso, they get another penalty. Cliff Ronning goes for hooking. Look at the penalties on either side. You see Plavsic, number 6, then Momesso, and then Ronning. And there you see McSorley. He had a 10-minute penalty on the board. It's down to 2:12. And Rob Blake has 3:09 left on his 5-minute major. But, of course, Blake has been given an automatic game misconduct, and McSorley also got a game misconduct. Andy Van Hellemond needs a calculator out there tonight. Total penalty minutes in this game: the Kings 86 minutes, Vancouver 71 for 157. And you can't tell me this is what fans want to see. This is a long game. It's deteriorated into just penalty after penalty. Vancouver leads at 3-1. And about half the building is empty right now. 3-1 in favor of Vancouver. If I were that guy, I'd be gone right now, too. The Kings 0 for 7 on the power play tonight with 7 shots. You can never skate with less than 3 skaters, so it's still a 3 skaters apiece on the ice right now as the Canucks bring it to center ice. Here's Lidster. Now they get a man on the penalty box. It is Plavsic, 2-on-1. Plavsic moving in. He shoots, and a save by Steve Weeks. Kings jump on the rebound. Pass to center ice is off the boards and out of the reach of Wayne Gretzky. 6 minutes to go in the third period. Knocked down by Donnelly, but his behind-the-back pass broken up by Igor Larionov. On the right side to Courtnall. Jeff Courtnall shoots, and a save by Steve Weeks. And Donnelly drives to the length of the ice. The Canucks have a power play here, a 4-on-3 skating advantage for another minute 25. And it's a major power play. Still working on the McSorley and Blake penalties to the Kings. Canucks with it at the blue line. Here on the right side is Jeff Courtnall. Courtnall's pass broken up by Larry Robinson. And now cleared up to center ice by Waters to Curry, and Curry sends it in. 1 minute left to go on the Canucks penalty, or excuse me, on the King penalty to McSorley at that point. Here's a shot from the right side by Trevor Linden. 45 seconds left to go in Ronning's penalty for Vancouver. Here's Pavel Bure. King zone, he gets it over to Jeff Courtnall. To Babbage. Babbage with room, shoots, and a save by Weeks. I'll tell you, Steve Weeks has come out and done a good job here. Here's Babbage again on the power play. Fed it down to the corner to Linden. Now back to Babbage. To Courtnall. Now to Babbage. His pass in front to Bure. Broken up by Robinson and clear. In 15 seconds, McSorley's penalty is going to expire. Weeks has faced 10 shots coming on here in the third period. Here's Trevor Linden down the left side, up the middle to Courtnall. He shoots wide to the right side. And the Canucks had a 2-man advantage for about 2 seconds, but now it's a 1-man advantage. Here on the right side is Plavsic. 50 seconds left to go in Blake's penalty. McSorley's penalty is expired. Here's Bure. Pass on the right side to Ronning. Up the middle now, Pavel Bure with it. Bure checked by Huddy, gets it to Ronning. Now back to Bure. His pass in deep to Courtnall, shoots, saved by Weeks, and he knocks it away. Huddy with it. He clears it out to center ice. 30 seconds to go on the major penalty to Rob Blake. 3:40 to go in the third period. Kings are down 3-1. Paul Coffey back to get in the King zone. He feeds it over now on the right side to Waters, but he got tied up. Greg Adams was in for Vancouver. The puck is held in the right point by Dirk. Dirk sends it down to Ronning. Hooked away by Paul Coffey. 5 seconds to go in the King penalty to Blake. Here's Coffey to center ice, and the Kings are back at full strength. Dave Taylor was serving the penalty. He's back on the ice. Pass left side to Donnelly. Shoots, saved by McLean. And the Vancouver Canucks come back to center ice. Pass on the right wing side. Cutting in his net bend. Drops it back. Shot by Fergus is over the net and off the glass. 2 2:55 to go, third period. Kings are down 3-1. It doesn't matter the outcome of the game because Edmonton lost tonight. The Kings will finish in second place in the Smythe Division. The Stanley Cup playoffs will open here in Los Angeles Saturday night, and the second game in that first round will be played here on Monday night. There are still some tickets available. You can get them at the Forum box office and at Ticketmaster locations. All the playoff games involving the Kings will be brought to you on Prime Ticket. Robert Cron in deep, cuts right in front of his own goaltender. Both teams at full strength with 2:20 to go in the third period. The Canucks looking for their 42nd win of the year. They've already set a club record for most wins in the year. Now Robitaille behind the Vancouver net. Robitaille shot, save, rebound, Millen shoots, he scores! Corey Millen with his 6th goal in the last 10 games, and it's not over yet. Vancouver leads 3-2.
Finally got all the players back on the ice. Again, the Kings with good forechecking here. And Corey Millen right there to pick up the rebound, slides it into the empty corner. It was Robitaille Sandstrom keeping the puck alive down low. And Millen just holds back from the play. He lets it develop in front of him first before going to traffic. And he just outfights Plavsic. Doesn't get much on that shot, but he had the open corner. Kings back within 1 goal.
Corey Millen with that goal. 41 points in 46 games in Los Angeles. That's Millen's 20th of the year. I gave you his 21st. It's his 20th goal of the year with the Kings. 21st overall. He had one earlier with the New York Rangers. Center ice, puck taken by Sandstrom. Over Robitaille, Vancouver zone, in front of Granato, but broken up by Momesso. 1:45 to go here in the third period. Kings are down 3-2. Puck is chipped down to center ice, taken now by Tony Granato. Kings are trying to tie it up and send it into sudden death overtime. Here's Lidster. Lidster for Vancouver. Fires it in on target. Stop made by Weeks, and he gives it to Coffey. The fans chanting, "Go, Kings, go," with 1:25 to go in the third period. Pass off the right wing boards, all the way down to the Vancouver zone, and icing called against the Kings. There's Sandstrom coming down the right side. He and Merzen have had words before, and Merzen sits down on top of Thomas and gets a little whack in the shin pads for it.
Row 20, seat 15.
Face-off will be to the right of goaltender Steve Weeks. The Kings are 1 goal down with 1:20 left to go in the regular season for the Kings. Vancouver still has 1 game left Thursday night at home against Calgary. Kings take it away. Here's Larry Robinson. Up to Wayne Gretzky at center. Gretzky's pass. Right wing side. The Kings are pulling Weeks, the goaltender. He gets to the bench with 1:08 left in regulation. Pass in front, tipped away. Gretzky's pass was tipped away by the goaltender, Kirk McLean. The King net is empty. At center ice. Kings with over 1 minute to go in the third period. Here's Gretzky. Gretzky at the left point. Vancouver zone, but his pass went right onto the stick of Larionov. Now cleared to Bure. Shoots at the empty net, and it's just wide. No icing here. It got a piece of the crease. Oh, they are going to call icing. Boy, it looked to me like that got a piece of the crease. That shouldn't be icing. If it catches any part of that crease, that waves off the icing, but they called it anyway. Now only 44 and 9/10 seconds remain here in the third period, and the Kings are going to call a timeout. Let's take a look at this again. I thought it got a piece of the crease. There's Bure with a backhander. Oh, I think it got a piece of the crease. That shouldn't have been icing there.
Another look. Bure trying for the empty net goal. No doubt about it. It does get a piece of the crease right there.
Yep.
But the linesman, Ryan Bozak, was way behind the play. Really didn't have an angle on it. He looked for help, but no one was there to help him. And the Kings get a little break there. The faceoff will be deep in the Vancouver Canucks zone. Kings looking for the equalizer with 6 attackers on the ice.
The Kings have pulled goaltender Steve Weeks with 1:08 remaining. We're down now to 44 and 9/10 seconds left. Pat Quinn sending out his 5 players. The Kings have 6 attackers on the ice. There's Steve Weeks over on the bench. He played very well coming on in the 3rd period.
Practice this situation quite a bit in practice. Usually at the end of a practice, the coaches will call the 6 players they want on the ice. Great chance here, though, for the Kings to use this time to practice it. These are the situations that can win or lose hockey games.
Corey Millen will face off in the Vancouver zone. The Kings are trying to tie it up in the closing seconds. Here's Gretzky at the left point. Gretzky's pass behind the net to Donnelly. Donnelly tips it on the right side, but it's taken away by Trevor Linden. He clears it to center ice, and Gretzky chases it down. 33 seconds to go in regulation. Kings are down 3-2. Here's Donnelly, shoots it into the Vancouver zone. It comes over to Millen now. Granado with a shot, save made. Rebound behind the net, taken away by Fergus. He can't clear it. Right point, Curry holds it in. Behind the net to Gretzky. Gretzky, backhander, knocked down by McLean. Rebound taken by Lidster. He clears it to center ice. Down into the Kings zone. Curry chases it down, and icing call. And Linden takes a run at Jari Kurri. And Curry gets a few lefts in. There was no reason for Linden to do that. The whistle blew.
That's an automatic penalty. That rule has been put in the last couple of years. You cannot take that extra shot on a guy after an icing call. That should be automatic. But then Curry did come back with a few punches of his own. There's Linden right now discussing it with Van Hellemond. Would be a big penalty. 9.9 seconds remaining. The Kings will have that extra attacker, so they will be 2 men. We'll have a 2-man advantage if only Linden goes off.
As far as I'm concerned, another reason, call the icing when it goes across the red line. Here's another delay. We've had just another skirmish. You get sick of that at this point of the game. Use the international rule. When the puck goes across the goal line, whistle it dead. You're going to stay away from injuries and delay of the game. In my opinion, this league's got to do some things. Keep the game speeded up. Get rid of that red line except for icing. And get the game moving a little bit more. Get into the almost 21st century.
Number 16, Trevor Linden. 2 minutes
9 and 9/10 seconds left to go in regulation. Trevor Linden gets a double minor, high sticking and roughing.
Number 17,
And Jari Kurri
2 minutes for roughing.
gets 2 for roughing. And all of that's avoided if it's an automatic icing when the puck goes across the goal line.
So the Kings will have a 2-man advantage here. They will have 6 skaters out,
2 minutes for roughing.
pulling their goaltender Steve Weeks against the 4 skaters of the Vancouver Canucks. Little extra room here. They don't have much time. Everything depends on this face-off between Corey Millen of the Kings and Tom Fergus of the Canucks.
So on the face-off to the right of Kirk McLean. As Jim told you, Millen and Fergus. The Kings are down by a goal, and off the draw, Vancouver with it. Here's Lidster, 5 seconds to go. Puck taken away by Donnelly. His pass in front, broken up, and the Canucks are going to win it. As the puck comes back in the Kings zone, the game is over. But it doesn't matter that the Kings have lost tonight because they still finish in 2nd place in the Smythe Division after Edmonton got beat earlier tonight by the Winnipeg Jets. So the Kings skate off the ice